1-2-3 inning. Spanish Fork coming to the plate as Maple Mountain takes 18.
Where have all the cowboys gone? Why, every Wednesday they up and ride into Spanish Fork. That's right, it's the Wednesday Western on Spanish Fork 17. 12:30 lunchtime and repeated at 9:30 when you're bedding down. Check the listings on the SFCN website. Wednesday Westerns featuring John Wayne, Kirk Douglas, Alan Ladd, Gregory Peck, and a band of outlaw renegades. Only on Spanish Fork 17.
Well, it's fun to dine at Taco Time. The service is great and the food is fine. So when you're feeling hungry, look for this sign and bring the family down to Taco Time. You can dine right. Pleasantly surprised. Food our own special way.
Taco Time at Fork.
For the bottom of the first will be Bennett Bradford, Jade Nielsen, and Hayes Hall. The remainder of the lineup, Brady Bate will hit cleanup, Brock Nielsen 5th, Trevor Perkins 6th, Cooper Thorpe will hit 7th, Jason Money 8th, and Nick Roberts will hit 9th. Jason Money will be the designated hitter in that 8th slot for Maverick Buffo. As Bradford coming to the plate. Maple Mountain defensively here in a moment. The first pitch fouled away. Pitcher Dallin Peterson for the Eagles. The outfielders Jaron Hall in right, Nick Maffey in center, Logan Nelson out in left. A 0-1 count to Bennett Bradford. Infielders as follows for the Eagles. Bryson Van Tassel at third. The shortstop, Cade Polson. Colton Hamilton at second. Mitch Holmes at first base. The catcher is Jake Maffey. And of course, as I mentioned, Dallin Peterson, the pitcher, throws one upstairs. Dons got after it early and often against Salem Hills in their last matchup. Probably, most definitely hoping to do the same thing here in this one. These emotional rivalry matchups. We got a 3-1 count here to Bradford. Can be selective here. Bradford turns on it, ropes it down the line, and it's foul, count full. Jaden Nielsen looks on for the Dons from the on-deck circle. Pitch right down the gut. Second base side. Takes a weird hop. Bradford quick and on an error will reach first. So the Dons are the first one aboard. And now Jaden Nielsen to the plate.
Now batting for the Dons, the catcher number 5.
Not a great start for the Eagles. That did take a strange hop as came off of the grass going into the second base position, but Hamilton unable to hang on to it at second. So Nielsen with a runner aboard. Pops one out of play. This is my first game of the year, folks, being able to attend the Spanish Fork or any baseball game for that matter. Just a busy year for me so far, and I'm glad to be back as the runner checked at first base. Hayes Hall standing on deck for the Dons. Pitch on the way, up and away. Pitch out, hoping to catch Bradford. Bradford not moving, the count 1-1. Bradford certainly a steal threat. Checked once again. These two teams will meet up again on Thursday at Maple Mountain High School. Starting at 3:30. You can catch it here on Spanish Fork 17. One ball, two strikes. And that one nubbed and foul. Let me take a look at the bleachers. It looks like some fans are starting to file in more and more as this one goes. Get these afternoon games. Everybody has to get here after they get off work. Weather's not going to help much either. It's not particularly warm. That one nails Jade Nielsen. And that will bring up Hayes Hall. With
Now
Brady
batting for the
Bate,
Dons, number 2,
hot
is the
hitting
shortstop,
Brady Bate,
Hayes
waiting
Hall.
at on the on-deck circle, hitting in the cleanup slot.
Running speed up, number 6, Taylor Harrison.
Dons with for Bate at first base. Pitch on the way, curveball, missing. Maple Mountain fans not overly thrilled about that. Looked pretty good to me. The count 1-0. So one ball, no strikes. Still nobody out. Two aboard for the Dons. Wind continues on the way. Fouled off by Hayes Hall. The count goes to 1-1. Blowing in such a way that some of the outfield signs are fluttering a little bit. They need to be pinned down a little bit. There's one in right center field. It's having trouble. There's one popped up down the first base line, and that will be caught for the out. So one down. And that'll bring up Brady Bate,
Now batting for the Dons, right fielder
who
number
has
10,
been,
Brady
to say the
Bate.
least, a triple machine for Spanish Fork this year. There's not a ton of home run power in this lineup. There is home run power, just not. It's not a team that's just going to knock the long ball on you frequently. But consistent hitting has been the Dons' strength this year, and especially from this hitter in Bate, as he calls time. 1-0 is the count to him. It's interesting. Seems like every time you make your first trip down to the ballpark, there's something new. Got the screen now out in center field, over the center field wall, to keep the hitter's eyes focused on the ball, or at least to help them. As construction also continuing, you can hardly see Volunteer Park anymore with as much construction as going on down here. And Bate fouls it away. 1-2 the count to Brady. So 1-2, one away. Runners at first and second. Bradford hasn't moved along with Harrison. There's a shot out to center field. Backing up is Moffey. He'll make the play. The Dons will tag Bradford and get him over to third base as Harrison was held up at first. So, 2 away. All of a sudden, Dons have runners on the corners now. Brock Nelson, the hitter.
First baseman number 8, Brock Nelson.
As mentioned earlier, Taco Time will sponsor today's player of the game. I began that before the break. For a limited time, you can try their new Mondo burritos. Come try great Southwest flavors at Taco Time if you're unfamiliar where it is. It's behind Deseret Book, near the old Food for Less building. So, 2 down. Pitch. Swing and a miss by Nelson. Nobody moves as it gets away from Jake Moffey, the catcher. A 1. Harrison takes off, and he does so prematurely, but they're going to try to get him stuck in a situation. They may just want to let him. I don't know what's going on with Bradford. He needs to figure out a way to get home. He's going to do it. Bradford scores, and Harrison to third, and he can go forever now. They're going to center. Here comes Harrison. Drawn up perfectly. Sort of. The Dons working Peterson off the mound. You see that on the instant replay. Camp out. Into center field. Nobody out there to back that throw up there. All the backup was low. And the Dons with an early 2-0 lead. Manufacturing runs. So now a lot of pressure taken off of Brock Nelson. His base is now cleared. And he is now in an 0-2 count after that foul off. So 0-2, 2 down. Pitch in the dirt. 2 errors have been committed in the first inning by Maple Mountain. Pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. So the first strikeout of the ball game for Peterson ends the first inning. The Dons 2, the Eagles nothing here on Spanish Fork 17.
The Dons had 2 runs on no hits, 3 Golden Eagle errors, and no runners left on base.
Coming up this weekend, it's all evening. Standard Time.
They're breaking out!
You can't stop them. The games are coming to your TV this Saturday. Afternoon. All evening.
All Sports Saturday!
If you don't know what's coming this Friday night at 9:30 p.m., you may want to beware. It's Freaky Friday.
FCN unleashes a freaky feature every Friday night at 9:30. Yes. This used to be the time slot for even scarier. Freaky Friday, only on Spanish Fork 17.
The mountains look nice and warm today, don't they?
Leading off for the Golden Eagles.
Stare at Mount Loafer from a camera angle above the Don's dugout. And at that point, we're glad to be living in a valley. Maverick Buffo to Cade Polson, first hitter. This inning for the Eagles, the cleanup hitter, taking ball one. Or strike one. That one outside, missing, and the count goes to 1-1 now. That one hits the inside corner for strike two. So Buffo, as the Dons pitchers are trained to do not waste a lot of time on the mound, as there's a shot into left center field. That will be a base hit. Polson will turn and look and hang on at first base with a first hit of the
Now batting for the Golden Eagles, center fielder number
As I
5,
mentioned, as the Dons have done for so long, at least as far as the pitchers are concerned, not a lot of time wasted on the mound. Can slow down a little bit when you have runners aboard, as you got to check them a little bit. A lot of quick work made by the Dons pitching. And there for a strike from Buffo. First time he's had to pitch from the stretch. Starts off well for him with a strike. 0-1 the count. No outs here in the second. Pitch on the way, and that one misses for ball one. Runner checked at first base by Buffo. Of course, Maffey making his first plate appearance of the game. Bryson Van. 1-1 pitch. Curveball. Way ahead of it is Maffey, and the count goes to 0-2, or excuse me, 1-2. Don's hoping for something low here to potentially get a double play ball. Again, Buffo pauses to check the runner. Here's the 1-2. Curveball, did he go? No. He didn't go, so the count remains at 2s. Two-two pitch. Popped up. Center field. Ball drifting to left center, but the play made by Bradford will be the first out. Gives you an idea of how bad that wind is blowing. That thing started directly to center field, and you just have to watch Bradford continue to drift a little bit at a time towards left center to make that play on this Color Guys instant replay. 872 North Main, 798-00-77. One down, one aboard. Bryson Van Tassel, the hitter, pitch in there for strike one. Buffalo's off of the strike. You can tell that most of the Maple Mountain hitters want to see one before they start cutting. And Buffalo's been pretty spot on with that first pitch. Hasn't missed much. Straight back, and the count goes quickly to 0-2. Jake Maffey waiting on deck for the Eagles. Good lead by Polson. First, curveball just misses up. Haven't seen Buffo throw any waste pitches yet. A solid count on a hitter. You can try to burn one up and away and see if they'll chase it. Haven't seen much of that from Buffo as of yet. He's been pretty much keeping it around the strike zone in these first couple of innings of 2 strike counts. Yeah, and there's another strikeout for Maverick Buffo. That's 2 for him. And 2 away.
Now batting.
Maffey, the number 7 hitter in Maple Mountain's lineup, is the catcher. Probably want to take back what happened in the first inning. One of those runs being due to one of his errors, a fly ball to left, and that thing is just carrying and finally making the play out there was Perkins, but that thing, I mean, he hit that thing. It looked like it was going to be a mid-left field fly ball, and the wind just grabbed it.
In the top of the second.
Now, you can just watch this on the replay as he just has to trail, and finally make the grab. That's the 3rd out, and the Dons coming to the dish in the bottom of the 2nd here on Spanish Fork 17.
Fill up your gas tank at the same time you fill yourself at the dugout. On the way to the job site, the office, or the ballpark, pop in for everything you need. Hot drinks, cold drinks, any size you want of all your favorite flavors. Build your own fresh salad to go, for now or later, or choose from our home-styled sandwiches and fresh baked goods. Whether you're close to home plate or close to your home, swing by the dugout, located next to the ballparks in Spanish.
Security Insurance Agency. Since I'm customer Lane Henderson.
He's covered my business to my home and everything, provided excellent coverage throughout the years. Personally takes care of my needs, so I really appreciate that personal touch.
Let Clark Swenson and his entire staff take care of you. Security Insurance Agency, 290 North Main in Spanish Fort, or call 798-3500.
Due up for the Dons here in the 2nd. Trevor Perkins, Cooper Thorpe, and Jason Money, 6, 7, and 8. For the Dons, who
Bottom of the 2nd inning. Left fielder number 18.
nearly saw this game tied up in the top of the 2nd inning with that left field fly ball that continued to carry. I said in the pregame that with the wind blowing from right field, it could play some havoc. You get some fly balls heading out the left. Perkins was that left fielder who made that play. Trying to get something going here early for the Dons with the bat. Takes a strike, count 1-1 from Peterson. There's a nubber right back to Peterson. An easy play to first. So 1 away for Cooper Thorpe. Thorpe, the Dons' second baseman.
Now batting for the Dons, second baseman number 1, Cooper Thorpe.
Jason Money on deck for the Dons. 1 down. Pitch on the way, misses outside. Last time these two teams met in region play was in the very early years of Maple Mountain High School's existence, and the Dons handled the Eagles mightily. But since then, and Salem Hills struggled back then as well, but now these teams down here in southern Utah, they seem to be a problem for about everybody they face, and it's great to see them facing off against one another as with the new realignment, this rivalry again renewed. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Pitch full. Thorpe being selective at the plate for Spanish Fork. I don't know what's being discussed between the umpire and the pitcher, Peterson, but whatever it is seemed to have been resolved. So a payoff pitch, Thorpe. And that one in the dirt, ball 4. So the Dons with a runner aboard. Nobody out.
Now batting for the Dons.
Peterson on the mound, no earned runs to this
Jason
point.
Money.
Both runs scoring as a result of an error or 2. The Dons have yet to get a base hit. Thorpe checked. Seemed a little surprised over there at first base. Peterson didn't let him get too far off where he turned around and gunned it. I think Thorpe was still leaning into his lead. That one on the first pitch to Jason Money is up and away, ball 1. Don's 9-hitter waiting on deck in Nick Roberts, who's been pretty solid at the dish for Spanish Fork. Pitch. Check swing there. I'd say he went for a strike. 1-1. Umpire didn't even check with the field ump. 1 ball, 1 strike. One away. And Thorpe, he's dead meat. He was leaning, and the second he turned to throw, I knew Thorpe was in trouble. Picked off for the. So now, back to a windup for Peterson. Peterson sees his pitch line down the third base line and foul. If I seem a little, I've been doing Don's games forever. We can discuss this after the break. 3 up, 3 down inning. We head to the third. The Dons up 2-0 over the Eagles.
In the bottom of the second inning, the Dons had no run. Hits.
Randy Brailsford, the car guys of Spanish Fork.
We're really excited about what we're able to do and provide for the community. Our goal is that we will sell you a quality car that's clean, that you'll feel proud of at a good, reasonable price.
The right place, dedicated service beyond the
and art every month. To enter, simply go to facebook.com/. and copy. You could win one of these beautiful canvas prints. And if you have a photo of your own you would like to enlarge and frame, come to J-Mart and leave a lasting legacy.
As I was mentioning before the break, my apologies to the Maple Mountain fans if I do seem a little biased. But I've got news for you. We're doing the game over at Maple Mountain High School, and we can turn our bias towards the Golden Eagles that day. But I'm trying my hardest. I apologize if I'm not as
Leading off for the Golden Eagles in the top of the third
kind
inning,
as I should
first
be.
baseman number 23, Mitch Holmes.
I'm learning to love them a little better every day. It's a process. Mitch Holmes, a hitter. Connor Ellis on deck. Colton Hamilton also due up here in the third. That's the 8, 9, and 1 hitters. Pitch to Holmes, misses. The count quickly 2-0 from Buffo. Two-0 pitch. That one misses off the corner, and the count quickly 3-0. It was Buffalo in those first two innings. It seemed to start hitters off quick with strikes. Having a little more of a difficult time here in the first hitter of the third inning as he throws one by for a strike there, and the count 3-1 pitch. That one chopped foul down the first baseline. The count full. So Buffalo earns his way right out of that jam. See a 3-2 pitch to Mitch Holmes. How far off the plate can he go? Too far. Ball 4. And the first one aboard for the Golden Eagles is Connor Ellis.
The Golden Eagles, the designated hitter number 21,
The hitter.
Connor Ellis.
First baseman for Maple Mountain. Typically those first basemen aren't huge threats to steal. The many first basemen taking off. I don't know why that is. They're usually the bigger guys on the team. Taller guys. Ball. Count. 1-1. Ellis taking his time getting in the box. Buffo, 1-1 pitch, down low. Count 2 balls, 1 strike. If you're missing this game today, don't miss the one Thursday. It will prove to be an exciting one as well. Weather's supposed to be a little bit better also. After we had that hard freeze last night, you wake up in the morning, go outside to only find that your plants are frozen. Hopefully everybody got them covered. There's a Hayes Hall underneath it, but that thing had some tower under it, and the wind did its work on that one as well. 1 away. So Ellis unable to advance Holmes.
Now batting for the Golden Eagles.
That will bring up Colton Hamilton.
Colton Hamilton.
Seen so far through the Maple Mountain lineup by the Eagles. The Dons have had a little less success. Most of their base running coming from have come from errors and walks and hit batsmen. 1-0 the count to Colton Hamilton. Last time struck out. Pitch upstairs. 2-0. Pitch in the dirt, 3-0 count. Again, home base pitch strike. So the count goes to 3-1. Stands pretty full here at Nelson Field. And that one misses low, ball 4. So 2 aboard, 2 walks issued here in the inning by Maverick. Colton Hamilton
Now batting.
pretty much pinned at first base now with Holmes at second, so Buffalo should be able to just focus on Logan Nelson here. I coached Logan a few years ago. I coached Pony League here in town, and talk about a reliable player. Focused player. And a very, very coachable player at that. And he was probably the biggest reason, one of the biggest reasons my Pony League team won the UBBA tournament that year. It's good to see him doing. That one upstairs. Don's with a little bullpen action right now, and there's a 2-0 count to Logan Nelson, and that one in there for a strike. Buffalo finally gaining maybe a little more focus to lay off a little bit, not try to burn them by. Hit the strike zone, let the fielders do the rest. 2-1. Fouled off, 2-2 the count. Two, 1 away, 2 aboard for the Eagles. Pitch from Buffalo, curveball, grounder, foul. Count remains. As mentioned again, 3:30 Thursday. These two teams will be going to battle again at Maple Mountain High School. 3-2 count. Trying to get Nelson to chase there. Now a payoff pitch. Ball 4. Bases loaded. 3 walks in the inning by Buffalo. And that will bring up the number 3 hitter, Jaron Hall, for the Maple Mountain Golden Eagles. And that one in the dirt. At this point, I don't know whether or not it would be advisable to pull Buffalo out of the stretch. He was in the stretch on that one, and now Coach Whites wants to have a conference. After Cooper Thorpe had made his way out there, they may pull some infielders in and have a discussion. It'll give us a moment once again to remind you that the live broadcast today here on the 29th of April is being brought to you by J-Mart Printing. Lane Henderson can take anything and print it in just about any format. That would include wedding invitations, posters, business cards, magnets, etc., etc. Do it all at J-Mart, North Main in Spanish Fork. Again, these games also on rebroadcast as well, so just don't be watching this game late at night. Come down here and wonder why the sun isn't shining anymore out here at the park. But as the network has continued to evolve, it's been great to be able to bring live broadcasts to you. If you're not aware and you have the basic package, you have digital digital HD, you can go to 470. This game broadcasting there on channel 417, which we should. In fact, I know we do, because that's where I watch them when I'm stuck at work and can't make it to the ballpark. 3-0, strike. Buffo, still working from the stretch, has walked 3 batters here in the third. Fouled away, full count. Aaron Hall, last time grounded out to third. Don's hoping for a ground ball here. Pitch, there's one, shot into center field. Bring in 1 run. Will they try for 2? They will not. It was a nice job by Bradford to get the ball relayed in as quick as he could. Nonetheless, Mitch Holmes scoring for the Eagles off that RBI single by Jaron Hall.
Now batting the short.
Base is still loaded. Cade Polson, the hitter, he singled his last time up. It's now a 2-1 ball game. Polson at the dish. Takes a first pitch cut, popped up first base line in foul ground. Play made for the out. Just what the Dons wanted to see there. So now, the infielders should be able to move back to their original positions with 2 away. Just 2 outs, just to surrender only 1 run would be a gift to the Dons at this point. Nick Maffey, the hitter, flew out to center his last time up. Watches strike 1. Pitch. Out in right field. Solid shot. Will Bate get to it? He will. And the wind just knocked that thing straight down. And Bate able to get to it. So just 1 allowed. They had the bases loaded with 1 out, did the Eagles. And it's a 2-1 Spanish Fork Dons lead.
The Golden Eagles had 1 run on 1 hit. No Spanish Fork errors and 3 runners.
Where have all the cowboys gone? Why, every Wednesday they up and ride into Spanish Fork. That's right, it's the Wednesday Western on Spanish Fork 17. 12:30 lunchtime and repeated at 9:30 when you're bedding. CN website, Wednesday Westerns featuring John Wayne, Kirk Douglas, Alan Ladd, Gregory Peck, and a band of outlaw renegades, only on Spanish Fork 17.
Roberts will lead it off for the Spanish. Nielsen. 1 and 2 hitters. Roberts making his first plate appearance. The Dons yet 2 runs coming in the the first inning off of a fielding error and then a hit batsman and then an error that ended up scoring 2 Dons runners on a pickoff attempt with Taylor Harrison. 1-1 to Roberts. One pitch, and that one down low. 2 balls, 1 strike. Nick in the 9 slot has been solid for the Dons. Hoping to keep his momentum going. As that one misses outside. I believe the count now 3-1 to Roberts. Pitch. And Roberts takes a whack at it, fouls it off, the count full. Pitch on the way. Roberts grounds one to third. Play made, out made at first base. Nice job by Van Tassel over at third base for the Eagles. And there's one down. That'll bring up Bennett Bradford. Reached on an error in the first and scored.
Bennett Bradford.
He digs in. First pitch on the way. Up the middle, right off the shin of Peterson. But to third, they're going to not even make the play. An infield single will be recorded for Bennett Bradford on that one. And that is going to get someone out there to check out Dallin Peterson as he took one hard off the leg. Hopefully he's all right. He's trying to walk it off a little bit. Caught that thing right on the inside of the left leg as Gary Miner up there to check up on him. Give him a second to walk it off, shake it off a little bit, and that's an unnerving situation as a pitcher, and you just see that thing come off the bat right at you, and you're not even in position to, I mean, as a pitcher, it's difficult to get down in position to make a quick play on a ball, but 9 times out of the 10, you're just trying to hop out of the way and jump up. Still trying to stretch that thing out, and with that being his left leg, that's his plantar leg, and that's not a great thing to have bothering you if you're a pitcher. See how probably going to allow him a couple of throws here, I would assume. The umpire will. Yeah, they're going to pull Jade Nielsen out and allow Peterson to have a couple of throws just to make sure. And you know, kind of expected that first throw he made was super high. Hopefully he's, he looks like he's all right now. His facial expression would suggest otherwise, but Gary Miner feels confident. So does the umpire. So does Peterson. So let's get back to it. Runner aboard for Spanish Fork and Bennett Bradford. One down, Jade Nielsen, the hitter.
Now batting for the Dons, the catcher number 5, Jade
Last time
Nielsen.
reached base after being hit by a pitch. The catcher for the Dons watches the first pitch as it goes outside with Hayes Hall waiting on deck for Spanish Fort. Runner checked in Bradford. Certainly a danger out there as far as being a threat to steal. 2-0 to Nielsen. No bullpen action for Maple Mountain. Offering. Left alone. 3-0. We haven't seen Peterson really get into that much of a bind on the mound here. I don't know if we've seen a 3-0. Being said, you wonder if there are ill effects in that left leg. 3-0 pitch. That one in there for a strike. So count at 3-1. So 3 balls, 1 strike, 1 away. Sun's starting to peek out once again. Got just a few passing clouds that have brought the sun out, put the sun away, bring it back out, put it away. Fly ball to center, shallow center. But Maffey there to make the play. Mick Maffey to make the play, as his brother Jake is the catcher. So the center fielder makes a play, 2 down. That will bring up Hayes Hall.
For the Dons, the shortstop, number 2, Hayes Hall.
As mentioned before, we only hit the Dons' head. Bradford here in the 3rd inning. Dons need the bats to get hot. First pitch to Hayes is last time he popped up on the first baseline. It was caught in foul ground for an out. And count 1-0. Brady Bate on. .1-0 pitch. That one misses up high. 2-0. Offering inside. And a little high still. 3-0 once again. If nothing else, Peterson building his pitch count here in the 3rd inning. Runner checked. As Bradford, I don't remember a game where Bennett Bradford has left the ballpark with a clean uniform. Constantly such a steal threat, and he's such a reliable player. He's going to get on base at least once or twice in a ball game, and whenever he does that, pitchers continue to check, and Bradford does just what he did there. It gets right on the ground. Start to wonder if the Dons are, if you're just looking at Bradford alone, if the Dons are just wearing Texas orange. Change their school colors by the color of his uniform by the end of the game. A walk. Hayes Hall aboard. 2 aboard. Brady Bate the hitter. Last time flew out to center.
Now batting for the Dons, right fielder, number 10, Brady Bate.
Contact that, the single by Bradford certainly solid contact, but other than that, the Dons have just had some droopy looking hits and not really making. If you're a Dons fan, hopefully if you're a Maple Mountain fan, you will see Brady Bate make some solid contact here, at least get some excitement. Even though we are in a 2-1 game, a close contest. I like those 9-10 games. Those 9-10 scores. That one fouled off right above our camera there. So the count 0-2, and Bate will need to protect for Spanish Fork with 2 aboard. Dons have not left in this one. 0-2 pitch. Up and away. Pretty close to the strike zone to be leaving it alone, but Bate, good eye on it. Knows a strike when he sees it. Leaves that one be. 1-2 the pitch on the way. Strike 3. And Peterson out of a little bit of a bind. And we will head to the 4th inning. The Dons 2, the Golden Eagles 1 here on Spanish Fork.
After 3 complete innings, the score.
Well, it's fun to dine at Taco Time. The service is great and the food is fine. So when you're feeling hungry, look for this sign and bring the family down to Taco Time. Be pleasantly surprised. Food our own special way. That's Taco Time.
Taco Time. Spanish Fork.
Coming up this weekend. All evening, we've got so many games they won't fit in their standard time slots.
They're breaking out!
You can't stop them. The games are coming to your TV this Saturday. Afternoon. All evening. All sports.
Ladies and gentlemen, I have an announcement to make. Something fairly new. If you decide that you want to catch this rebroadcast whenever you want to, and it's not just live and on schedule of when Spanish Fork 17 shows it, YouTube will have this game rebroadcast on YouTube, and you can watch it whenever. Go to youtube.com/Spanish Fork 17. All under, or, well, all lowercase, and oh, it's pretty awesome. We're able to do that, so we encourage you to get there and do that. On if you want to watch this rebroadcast, go to YouTube. Stream it whenever you want. 1-2 the count to the hitter, Bryson Van Tassel, as Buffo watches that one fall to the ground, and a little sloppy the game for the Eagles. Actually, the third hit of the game for the Eagles. Gets a leadoff hitter, Van Tassel, aboard. Jake Maffey at the plate now. Mitch Holmes waiting on deck. Buffo struggled mightily in the third, walking his first 3 hitters. Not the first 3 hitters, but the first 3 aboard were walks, as he had one that was ground out to short in the middle of that. Showing bunt, trying to lay it down as Maffey gets by him for strike 1. Mitch Holmes on deck. And Buffo faced 7 Maple Mountain batters in the 3rd inning. That one low. 1 ball, 1 strike. No outs here in the 4th inning. Once again, runner checked. So 1 ball, 1 strike. Pitch on the way. And that one hits the inside corner for strike 2, and the count 1-2. Wind continues to whip. You just wonder. I mean, it's been 4 days, probably 3 or 4 days, where we just had steady winds. Of course, last week we had that high wind warning. It's strike 3. Goes by Jake Moff. He's felt the wind of that one. And that 3rd strikeout for Buffalo as Mitch Holmes coming to the dish. He was the runner that scored in the 3rd inning for Maple Mountain after he drew a walk in his first at bat. That one fouled off. The wind has just kind of been a nuisance. I know that the temperature's supposed to be climbing after these past few days. It'll be a welcome scenario, at least weather-wise for us. We've pretty much been spoiled, though, all spring long with nice weather. Can expect a day like this every now and again. Remember a few years ago, in fact, probably 8 or 9 years ago. Seems like a few years ago we were doing a 5A state tournament, or it may have still been 4A before the Dons moved to 5A, but we did a game over at BYU during the state tournament, and it was snowing. I mean, it got to a point where it was just snowing sideways, and it was actually accumulating at the ballpark over at Miller Park on the campus of BYU. And I think that day I was dumb enough that I didn't bring a coat. It was one of those things where you had the nice warm south wind, and then right behind it came the fun stuff. Don't forget that. That one in the dirt, ball 4. Another walk issued by Buffo, 2 aboard here in the 4th inning for the Eagles. And that'll bring up Connor Ellis.
Number 21, Connor Ellis.
1 down. Maple Mountain threatening once again. Ellis in his first at bat. That would be welcome again. Dons could potentially get a double play ball out of it. Dons have Nick Robert. Runner being looked at, nothing done. Strike the pitch. 1-1. That one. So Buffo seemingly not fooling around here with first, and just going to make the play simply is Brock Nelson for the out. So 2 out. That will bring up leadoff hitter Colton Hamilton. He's struck out and walked. Runners now at 2nd and 3rd with 2 down, so a base hit here could quite possibly bring in another run for the Eagles, or run
Pitch running, number 25,
for Mitch. probably a good idea. Holmes not the quickest on the base paths, and if you
Hamilton.
pull him out, get that in the outfield, even if it's shallow, you probably get Ashman home. That one down low for ball one. Good job behind the plate. Jade Nielsen knocking that one down. So Hamilton the hitter. Fifth hitter faced in the inning by Buffo. Count 2-0. As Logan Nelson waits on deck. Two-0 pitch. That one missing. 3-0. So now Buffo really needs to bear down, throw a strike here. Pitch. So 3-1 the count. With two aboard for Maple Mountain. Pitch. That one in there for strike two. It looked like Hamilton was ready to split, and that looked like it might have been a little inside, but the umpire gives Buffo the benefit of the doubt there. And we'll get a payoff pitch. 3-2, 2 down. Runners don't have to go, no force. Pitch. Bases jammed, 2 down. That is a second walk for Hamilton. Now Logan Nelson, the hitter, he walked his in his second at bat, in his first, grounded to short. An opportunity here for the Eagles. Pitch from Buffo. Nelson leaves it be. Ball one. I don't know if I'm mistaken. Last time I actually had a chance to. He kind of talked to me like he had somewhat. I don't know if he'd given up on it completely, but I don't know if he even played in his sophomore year at all. He may have. If I remember right, he wasn't on any rosters. 1-2, swing and a miss, strike three, and Buffo gets out of another bases loaded jam. He needs to just avoid those altogether, if nothing else for the sake of Don's fans. Fourth strikeout for Buffo. Three left. The bottom of the fourth. The Dons 2, the Golden Eagles 1 here on Spanish Fork 17.
You may want to beware. It's Freaky Friday.
SFCN unleashes a freaky feature every Friday night at 9:30. Yes, this used to be the time slot for city meetings. But trust us, this is even scarier. Freaky Friday, only on Spanish Fork 17.
Fill up your gas at the dugout. On the way to the job site, the office, or the ballpark, pop in for everything you need. Hot drinks, cold drinks, any size you want of all your favorite flavors. Build your own fresh salad to go, for now or later, or choose from our home-styled sandwiches and fresh-baked goods. Whether you're close to home plate or close to your home, swing by the dugout, located next to the ballparks in Spanish Fork.
For the Dons.
Due up for the Dons here in the fourth. Struck out. Looking to avenge for that here in the fourth inning as he watches ball one go by. Not only do we want to thank the sponsors for these ball games, including J-Mart, Car Guys, Taco Time, but all the companies, local companies, et cetera, that advertise with Spanish Fork 17, it is certainly appreciated to keep allowing us to bring these events to you. And I want to thank those sponsors as well. Not necessarily sponsors, but those advertisers. 3-0 the count. Quick 3-0 to Nelson as he'll watch here. And then to strike throw. I wish I could get a view of a flag or something out there to see which direction the wind's moving, but a quick 5-pitch walk to Brock Nelson. And that will bring up Trevor Perkins, who grounded out in his last at bat to the mound. These hitters on both sides, this is where, at least in the point of the game, where you can start to expect a little better contact from some of the hitters. They've seen the pitcher, they know what he's bringing, and that works for both sides. So the fielders at this point in the game, knocking one out to left. They're going to bring around Nelson. He will get there. And Trevor Perkins.
Now batting for the Dons, second baseman number 1, Cooper.
That'll bring up Cooper Thorpe. Second hit of the game, the first extra base hit we have seen this afternoon. Cooper Thorpe walked his last time up. So now the Dons threatening, nobody out. And runners in scoring position is a pitch up high. And it seems to me, and I don't know if I'm the only one who's noticed this, is Maple Mountain does have bullpen activity occurring. But it seems like after Peterson was hit with that ball that when he's missing high for the most part. And it just seems like maybe he's feeling that. I mean, that's on the inside part of that plantar leg. He has to be feeling it. And unless by some miracle they created a morphine they could stick in his leg and make it legal. But I can't imagine that he's not, at the very least, feeling that as that plantar leg goes down and he's digging in. And if that's causing him any issue, that could be a problem for him. As you can see, there's bullpen action for the Eagles. Whoever's out there takes his hoodie off. I'd like to know who it is. Nonetheless, pitch upstairs again. And Peterson just continues to leave him upstairs. That's the last play. So the runner's in scoring position. If you're going to miss, you're going to want to miss low a little bit. If for nothing else to, if contact is made, more than likely the ball will be on the ground. It won't be just one of those sack fly opportunities for the Dons where they could be guaranteed a run. Is Thorpe, as I mentioned, his first at bat walked. Seen plenty of walks today. We've seen plenty of weird things happen. The Dons have scored their 2 runs off of weirdness. As the count goes full. Jason Money waiting on deck for the Dons. 3-2. Thorpe leaves it be, ball 4, bases loaded, and nobody out. At this point, you start to wonder if maybe Maple Mountain's starting to get a little more serious about the idea of pulling Peterson. And on the mound. His out there, he just seems to be reeling out there on the mound. His money struck out his last time up. He swings and misses. Didn't look too bad there, and I'm not noticing any strong facial expression from Peterson. Well, as I mentioned, I just can't imagine that's not affecting him in some way. Did he check? The umpire just immediately going straight to base hump. The quick money, as I mentioned, strikeout victim in the second inning. Pitch, he'll need to 1-2. One-two pitching. Out of play. And the count remains. So the base loaded, nobody out. Pitch to Money, left alone. I think there was a shot for that. Wow.
Batting for the Dons, third baseman number 12.
One grounded to third in his first at bat, and only at bat. That occurred last inning. So Maple Mountain left 3 last inning. And actually, I believe Maple Mountain has left 3 aboard in the third and fourth inning. Yeah. Dons need a bases clearing hit here, just about as much as Maple Mountain could have used him last couple innings. There's a base hit for Roberts. That'll bring at least one home. That thing trickling into right field. They're going to bring home another one, and he's in there safe. 2 RBIs on the single. Nice hit there by Roberts. The Dons. Trevor Perkins lead. So now 2 aboard, and that'll bring up Bennett Bradford. The Dons aboard. Bradford reached on an error and singled. Last at bat singled. Right on, that was the hit that put the pain in Peterson's leg. That went in there first. Dons now in the most solid part of their lineup. The Dons have been pretty evenly distributed in the line. There's a shot by Bradford right field, but it's just one of those routine fly balls, and that thing is Hall. Anything out there and stick like so.
5, Jade Nielsen.
Oh, 2 down. And that'll bring up Jade Nielsen. Nielsen hit by also a run scored to his credit, although Taylor Harrison was the pitch on the way. That one left. 1-0. Hayes Hall waiting on deck for the Dons. 1-1. Nielsen fouls it off. The count 1-2. Pitch on the way, and that one just missing. I believe it's 2. Empire, maybe I'm getting it wrong. Saying 3-1, whatever it is. Here comes a pitch to Jade. Wrong, they were right. And I'll be brave enough to admit that. So, Nielsen aboard.
Now batting for the Dons.
And that'll bring up Hayes. Popped one up. The Dons almost have gone through the order here in the 4th. So far, just the hit from Hall. They will have gone through the order. Pitch upstairs, ball 1. Or at least to reach. Still bullpen action for the Eagles. So 1 ball, no strikes. Pitch to Hayes in the dirt, pass ball. And as this continues, you wonder.
Number 6, Taylor Harrison.
Taylor Harrison is running at second base in place of Jade Nielsen. Anyways, a pitch to Hall up and away in the pitch on the way. Hall leaves it alone, ball 4. Peterson struggling. Gary Minor calling time, and I believe we may be getting a pitching change here, or maybe just a discussion. He hasn't made any motion towards the bullpen, so maybe Peterson will get a talking to here. Brady Bate is going to be the hitter, and we do have a pitch. Nick Shaw. We'll take a break here on Spanish Fork.
Security Insurance Agency, serving the community with personal service since 1964. Longtime customer, Lane Henderson.
He's covered my business to my home and everything, provided excellent coverage throughout the years. Personally takes care of my needs, so I really appreciate that personal touch.
Let Clark Swenson and his entire staff take care of you. Security Insurance Agency, 290 North Main in Spanish Fort, or call 798 500.
Calvin Youd, Randy Brailsford, the Car Guys of Spanish Fork.
We're really excited about what we're able to do and provide for the community. Our goal is that we will sell you a quality car that's clean, that you'll feel proud of at a good, reasonable price.
The right place, dedicated service beyond the sale.
And elegantly framed. To enter, simply go to facebook.com/jmartin and copy. You could win one of these beautiful canvas prints. And if you have a photo of your own you would like to enlarge in frame, come to J-Mart and leave a lasting legacy.
batting for the Dons.
Brady Bate at the dish. Nick Shaw. Golden Eagles. The Dons. 3-run inning so far from Spanish Fork, and with Bate at the plate. This will mark the Dons' 9th hitter of the weird delivery from Shaw. He just it's like a sidearm shot put. If you're only way to from the hitter's perspective. Oh, see how Bate handles this at bat. 1-1. Bate struggled so far. He's flown out, struck out. Clean up hitter for the Dons. Bases jammed, 2 down. 1-1. That one in there for strike 2. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. 2. Here's the offering. Missing out. The winner of this one of these teams sweeps the series, it's probably more than likely that strike 3 on Bate forces the Dons to strand 3. However, the Dons score 3, and we are through 4. Spanish Fork 5, Maple 7.
Where have all the cowboys gone? Why, every Wednesday they up and ride into Spanish Fork. That's right, it's the Wednesday Western on Spanish Fork 17. 12:30 lunchtime and repeated at 9:30 when you're bedding down. Check the listings on the SFCN website. Wednesday Westerns featuring John Wayne, Kirk Douglas, Alan Ladd, Gregory Peck, and a band of outlaw renegades. Only on Spanish Fork 17.
Here in the 5th, the Meat Eagles. Now, we're looking deficit here at Nelson Field. Spanish Fork coming single from Nick Roberts, and then a pass ball, scoring those 3 runs for the Dons, and that one in there for a strike from Maverick Buffo, who at this point has had his own fair share of struggles from the mound. He's walked more than a handful of hitters. I mean, at least a handful of hitters. 5 that I can count so far. Yeah, 5 hitters he's walked. And if he does, he's tended to struggle, especially if those walks have occurred early in an inning. Control being a little bit of an issue for Maverick today. Or actually, he's out. Hayes Hall's it. No, never mind. They were just showing Hayes there. But Buffo, 5 will mark the 4th straight inning that Maple Mountain
Shortstop number 20,
has started
Paulson.
the inning with a runner aboard. Wow, it's amazing that the Eagles have been unable to make a pitching change. Roberts to the bench and coming in from right field to take the mound for the Spanish Fort is Brady Bate. We'll take a break here on
Well, it's fun to dine at Taco Time. The service is great and the food is fine. So when you're feeling hungry, look for this sign and bring the family down to Taco Time. You can dine right in or take away. Be pleasantly surprised at the price you pay. The finest food, our own special way. That's Taco Time. We're open every day.
Taco Time. Spanish Fork.
Coming up this weekend, it's all evening. We've got so many games they won't fit in their standard time slots.
They're breaking out!
You can't stop them. The games are coming to your TV this Saturday. All afternoon. All evening.
All Sports Saturday!
If you don't know what's coming this Friday night at 9:30 p.m., you may want to beware. It's free.
Again unleashes a freaky feature every Friday night at 9:30. Yes. This used to be the time slot for city meetings. But trust us, this is even scarier. Freaky Friday, only on Spanish Fork 17.
Now batting for the Golden Eagles. Shortstop number 20.
And the hitter for Maple Mountain is Brady Bate. Red dirt. As he warmed up, he had to do so from the stretch with Jaron Hall at first base, and certainly a steal threat. Quick dude over there. 2-0. Both Hall and Polson, 3 studs for Maple Mountain. Football, baseball, basketball, and they are starters. And they are both sophomores. Solid athletes. Shot out into right side. At least put the runners on the corners. Nope. So a double for Polson. Jaron Hall over to third, And that'll bring up Nick Moffey.
Now batting the center fielder number 5, Nick Moffey.
Pitch on the way. And they're 0-1 the count to Moffey, who has flown out twice. He chases that one out of the zone. Count 0-2. On 0-2 pitch, curveball upstairs. 1 ball. So 2 aboard in scoring position. I mean, this has been less than a conventional game. There's just been messy of errors, but errors that have resulted in something. 3-2. Spanish Fork pitching is just today so far. And yet somehow the Dons have held the Eagles to just 1 run at this point, and there's a shot at third. Buffo makes a play. So good play by Maverick Buffo over in that 5 spot.
Number 24, Bryson Van Tassel.
So at least 1 away for Spanish Fork is Bryson Van Tassel to the plate. He's 1 for. But the Dons have, in the last 4 innings, a 3-up, 3-down inning. The leadoff batter in that inning for the Eagles have been on, and yet only 1 has scored. 2-0 the be waiting on deck. Pitch. 2-1. So Bate seemingly finding his feet here as he can throw now from the windup. And there's the pitch, shot down the third base line. That one in there for a base hit. And that will score 2. He will do second. 2 RBIs on the double for Bryson Van Tassel. And now, once again, we're back to within 2 runs. As two doubles so far allowed by Bate. Jake Moffey, the hitter, lays down a bunt. Play made by Bate, and that will be 2 down. But fantastic.
Now batting the first baseman, number 23, Mitch.
That will bring up Mitch Holmes. Appearances. Pitch missing. 1-0 looked pretty good, especially since out there. That one roped up the middle. Hayes Hall fields it. 2 runs. And the Spanish Fork Dons lead 5 Eagles here on Spanish Fork, 17.
2 runs on 2 hits. No Spanish Fork errors and 1 run.
Fill yourself at the dugout. On the way to the job site, the office, or the ballpark, pop in for everything you need. Hot drinks, cold drinks, any size you want of all your favorite flavors. Build your own fresh salad to go, for now or later, or choose from our home-styled sandwiches and fresh baked goods. Whether you're close to home plate or close to your home, Swing by the Dugout, located next to the ballparks in Spanish Fork.
Serving the community with personal service since 1964. Longtime customer, Lane Henderson.
He's covered my business to my home and everything, provided excellent coverage throughout the years. Personally takes care of my needs. So I really appreciate that personal touch.
Let Clark Swenson and his entire staff take care of you. Security Insurance Agency, 290 North Main in Spanish Fort, or call 798-3500.
Fork here in the 5th. Cooper as Shaw continues after he's thrown to one batter. He struck out Brady Bate to end the 4th inning. The Dons, and you know, I was just thinking about it, the way he has that windup from up on the Maple Mountain side on the third base line where their dugout is located. The way he has that throw, I'm surprised he hasn't scraped his knuckles off on the chain link fence. There's a shot and a Brock Nelson aboard quickly for the Dons. Leadoff hitter aboard, and that'll bring up Trevor Perkins, who doubled.
Trevor Perkins.
BA. Brock Nelson and Trevor Perkins. But now as I get more active the bats get, pitchers get seen a little bit more, the hitters. And seems we're starting to see that more and more here in the latter innings of this one. Pitch on the way. That one just missing inside. The umpire not liking it, and the Maple Mountain fans pitch. Or at least so they thought it. Pitch on the way to Perkins. Shot to short. Polson to second, to first. Not in time. And a force out Brock Nelson. Will be the first.
Baseman number 1, Cooper.
So that'll bring up Cooper Thorpe. Walk. Inning. Routine fly ball out left center. And the play made by Moffey for the second out. So 2 away, and Jason Money, the hitter, he struck out in both at bats. Actually, Maverick. So now Money will have a designated hitter for him.
Third baseman number 24, Maverick Buffo.
So Buffo making his first plate appearance with Nick Roberts. Mentioned before, Roberts has now moved into the designated hitter role, as he should. He's had that RBI double in the 4th. He's just had an active bat for the Spanish Fort Dons. Been sitting out. 1-1. One ball, one. Maverick Buffo. At first base is Trevor Perkins for the As we mentioned before, Spanish Fork and Maple Mountain will go to war once again Thursday. We encourage you to be there at Maple Mountain High School, 3:30. You can also find it here on Spanish Fork 17, a live broadcast. We want to thank J Mart Printing for sponsoring the podcast here on the 29th of April. They're located at 280 North Main, and they can do anything for you. Maverick Buffo shot out to left field, not deep enough, in a routine play. For the out made by Nelson. To the 6. Maybe 17.
On base. After 5 complete innings, the score.
Spanish Fork.
We're really excited about what we're able to do and provide for the community. Our goal is that we will sell you a quality car that's clean, that you'll feel proud of at a good, reasonable price.
The right place, dedicated service beyond necessary.
An elegantly framed piece of art every month. To enter, simply go to J-Mart Print and Copy. You could win one of these beautiful canvas prints. And if you have a photo of your own you would like to enlarge in frame, come to J-Mart and leave a lasting legacy.
Due up for the Eagles here in the 6th. Hamilton and Logan Nelson, the 9-1 and 2 hitters. And Maple Mountain has been pretty solid as far as their at-bats have gone. They have not. I mean, we're talking about Maverick Buffo, who typically has a tendency to strike out a lot of guys. He only had 5, but solid at bats by the Eagles have just played it and wore its way on Spanish Fork pitch over everything. That's a shot out into left center field. Playing it deep was Bradford. He's got the wheels out there and he tracks it down for the out. Connor Ellis with a solid shot out there, but one away. It's actually the first inning. This is the first inning since inning number 1 that the leadoff man has not been aboard for the Eagles. Bullpen action. And it looks like the Dons are making a pitching change. They are. Brady Bate out. And we'll see who's coming in before we go to break. Once again, the Dons will be rotating the field a little bit. We'll see exactly who it is going to the mound for Spanish Fork. It looks like number 3, Tanner Nielsen, coming in. So Tanner Nielsen coming in for Spanish Fork, a lefty. He'll face two left-handed hitters when we come back here at Nelson Field.
Where have all the cowboys gone? Why, every Wednesday they up and ride into Spanish Fork. That's right, it's the Wednesday Western on Spanish Fork 17, 12:30 lunchtime, and repeated at 9:30 when you're bedding down. Check the listings on the SFCN website. Wednesday Westerns featuring John Wayne, Kirk Douglas, Alan Ladd, Gregory Peck, and a band of outlaw renegades. Only on Spanish Fork 17.
Well, it's fun to dine at, and the food is fine. So when you're feeling hungry, look to this side and bring.
Now batting the second baseman, number 8.
Colton Hamilton, the hitter. The new pitcher for the Dons, Tanner Nielsen, bringing in the lefty to face two lefties in a row in Colton Hamilton and Logan Nelson. Colton so far struck out once and walked twice. He's on no one count against Tanner Nielsen. That one grounded to second. Play made by Thorpe. So, one away. You know, it's been a long time since I've seen the Dons work as many pitchers as they have, and that says a whole lot for your bullpen when you have some lefties at your disposal. You have guys that you can bring in to face a. When you have that, you know, typically Spanish Fork has been able, for the most part, I mean, even last year and of course years prior when, you know, there was Caden Porter and Hayden Nielsen and some of these other guys, even Maverick Buffalo last year, where the Dons just would ride their starter all the way through the game. And now Spanish Fork seemingly more and more comfortable with their bullpen, and you can look at it a couple of different ways. And I would look at it as a positive. Some people might look at it as, well, your starting pitching isn't getting the job done, but I would look at it more so as you don't need to rely and ruin every starting pitching arm you have, making it all the way through a game with just one guy and letting him throw somewhere 80 to 90 pitches per contest, and a strikeout by Tanner Nielsen, coming Logan Nelson. Wow. So, a 3-up, 3-down inning. The first time we've seen that defensively by Spanish Forks. On here on Spanish Fork 17.
Well, it's fun to dine at Taco Time. The service is great and the food is fine. So when you're feeling hungry, look to this side and presently surprise food.
Taco Time at 6.
Coming up this weekend. It's all evening. We've got so many games they won't fit in their standard time slots.
They're breaking out!
You can't stop them. The games are coming to your TV this Saturday. All evening. All
Saturday!
Due up here in work. The 9-1 and 2 hitters, Nick Roberts, Bennett Bradford, Jade Nielsen. Strangely enough, the Dons have 2 RBIs in this ball game. They were both by Nick Roberts. The rest of them were via error. So, Roberts to the dish. Had that 2 RBI single in the 4th inning. The Dons, as I mentioned before, just so solid throughout the lineup. It's hard to pick where the leadoff hitter, I mean, of course, Bennett Bradford is your leadoff hitter, and you want him to stay there, but you could almost, throughout the lineup, just toss anybody anywhere, and they would fit just fine. Just solid throughout. At least in victory, they've been solid throughout. The Dons, in losses, have struggled for the most part throughout in the losses they've had this year, especially the 2 region losses. 2-1 pitch. Ooh, Roberts almost kissed that one. 3-1 the count, so Roberts' option here. As Bennett Bradford awaiting the on-deck circle. I don't know if you're aware of this. There's another shot out to left field and a base hit by Roberts. I mean, 9 hitters that are consistent and confident at any level are hard to come by. And Roberts has been just that. Bennett Bradford, the hitter. Bradford has reached on an error, singled, and flown out. 1 run scored. Of course, that one in the 1st inning after reaching on an error. Tries a bunt, doesn't make it. And Nick Roberts is going to hold up at 3. I don't know if Whites was wanting him to come to 3rd or not, but I think Roberts hit the skids. I don't know if there was a miscommunication or whatever, but nevertheless, Roberts advancing on a throw from Maffey to Holmes that Holmes was unable to hang on to. So a 0-1 count, Bennett Bradford chasing after a bunt on that one. Pitch on the way. Bradford now with the runner in scoring position can swing away. We want to thank the car guys for bringing us our instant replay today. You can see Randy Brailsford and Calvin Youd to get a great deal on a nearly new car. 872 North Main in Spanish Fork. There's a poke out to left field. Nelson making the play. So Logan underneath that one. 1 down. Car guys number 798-0077. And right now they've got a stock pile of SUVs that are ready for the taking. Nissan, GM, Ford, Toyota, Dodge, and Jeep among the makes that you're going to find at the car guys. So, 1 away for Jade Nielsen. 0 for 2, or excuse me, 0 for 1. He was hit by a pitch, and he's also walked in this one and flown to center. At second. Pitch outside for ball 1. believe Maple Mountain plays Salem Hills next week. Of course, these two shot to second. Roberts will advance. Play made at first. 2 down. Oh for 1 today is Hayes. He's walked twice.
Now batting for the Dons and shortstop number 2.
No runs scored on either at bat. I'm sure Dons would love to pad their lead here a little bit. Just this inning ends, heading into the 7th. Brady Bate waiting on deck. Pitch on the way to Hayes. Check. Luckily for him, it stays foul. He didn't even get a hop out of the box when he saw it come off the bat. He kind of jolted, but then realized that it was going to roll foul. 0-1 the count. There is some bullpen action for Maple Mountain. Due to the hoodie, I don't know who it is. There's a grounder up the middle. Nice play by Polson. What a stud. Sophomore Cade Polson over at shortstop, making a solid play for the out. Don Strand 1 and Nick Roberts. We head to 7. Spanish Fork 5, Maple Mountain 3 on Spanish Fork 17.
Maple Mountain 3, Spanish Fork.
You fill your way to the job site, the office, or the ballpark. Pop in for everything you need. Hot drinks, cold drinks, any size you want of all your favorite flavors. Build your own fresh salad to go for now or later, or choose from our home-styled sandwiches and fresh baked goods. Whether you're close to home plate or close to your home, swing by the Dugout, located next to the ballparks in Spanish Fork.
Security Insurance Agency, serving the community with personal service since 1964. Longtime customer, Lane Henderson.
He's covered my business to my home and everything, provided excellent coverage throughout the years. Personally takes care of my needs, so I really appreciate that personal touch.
Let Clark Swenson and his entire staff take care of you. Security Insurance Agency, 290 North Main in Spanish Fort, or call 798-3500.
Spanish Fort Dons have made a pitching change. As I mentioned before, typically you would be lucky to see Spanish Fork use 2 pitchers in a game, let alone now the 4th one in. In past years, the Dons would typically, even if it was a rough game, would stick with the number 1 all the way through it. But solid, deep bullpen for Spanish Fork, and they are utilizing that bullpen now as Jaron Hall, the hitter for the Eagles, as we will have the meat of the Eagles lineup do up the 3, 4, and 5 hitters in Jaron Hall. 1-1 the count. I want to remind you at the conclusion of this one, for a limited time, you burritos. Come try Great Southwest flavors at taco time behind Deseret Book in Spanish Fork. That is just as you're about to enter I-15 from Highway 6. And that one fouled. Just umpire making the call, and I think Gary Miner May have nearly thrown his back out in reaction to that. A solid hit there by Jaron Hall. Would have been probably easily been a double, since Perkins is playing so deep out in left field. As the left fielder at this point has to, with the way the wind's been working today. In fact, left the yard yet. Line shot. Brady Bate has to come in to make the play. He does. One down here in the 7th. That'll bring up Cade Polson. He's singled and he's doubled. He has a run scored. And takes ball 1. That went in there for a strike. Count 1-1. These two teams have, as long as Utah High School Activities Association can keep their hands off the region, these bright future ahead of them as they face one another in region play. 3-1 is the count. Pitch from Hayes, fouled off. Count full. Nick Maffey on deck. Pitch in there, shot, fly ball out to right field side and foul. Count remains full. Again, if you missed earlier, you can watch the rebroadcast of these ball games not only when they are broadcast on Spanish Fork 17, but also on YouTube as a second out made. Go to youtube.com.
Now batting center fielder number 5, Nick.
See if I can pull this up again. youtube.com /Spanish Fork 17. You can dig this rebroadcast, enjoy the rebroadcast, but also other programs that we have been able to provide on YouTube. 1-1 the count to Nick Maffey. The last chance really for Maple Mountain here in this ball game, as it is the top of the 7th. Hayes Hall in, trying to get the save for the Dons. Ball fouled away. 1-2 is the count. Maple Mountain has never led in this ball game. There's a ground ball. And fielding it, not fielding it, unable to hang on to it over a short was Nick Roberts. So, Maffey aboard with an infield single. I don't know if he could have got him anyway. Might have called that an error, I'm not sure. Bryson Van Tassel, the hitter. Struck out, singled. So if there's anybody who can dig Maple Mountain out of the hole they're in now, it is going to be Bryson Van Tassel of the game he's had today. Whether it be between him and Cade Polson, who have both been solid. Shot, third base side. Buffo can't hang on to it. So now the is for Jake Maffey,
Now batting the catcher number 7, Jake.
who was flown out, struck out, and grounded out in this one. Done everything but get a hit. You would think that sooner or later he might be due, and we'll see what he can do here, but a couple of mistakes. And the Dons actually have lost games due to that this season. One I recall against Bingham, where the Dons let one go in the last portion of the game. So at this point, from my point of view, no pitching fault. And that one upstairs, account 2-1 to Jake Moffey. Mitch Holmes is on deck. That one fouled out of play. I believe now the count 2-2. Two balls, two strikes. Two away. Here in the seventh, two aboard. Solid shot in a gap, could tie it. Grounder to short, Roberts to second. He's not going to have it there on time. I don't know if there's, for Spanish Fork, a communication breakdown or what's going on. I mean, the runner takes off. Nobody yells from the dugout or anywhere else that the runner's going. Which you'd think that someone would be notifying just so the fielder knows that the runner, being Bryson Van Tassel, he's quick, but he's certainly should be, and both of the runners had begun there to take off, and whether Thorpe was late there or Roberts was just late getting rid of it. There's one up the middle. That's going to score, and now Maple Mountain has tied it at 5. And the Nelson Field. Connor Ellis, the hitter. The go-ahead run at second base.
Now batting, the designated hitter, number 21, Connor Ellis.
Ellis, 0 for 3. Flown out his last time up. There's one fouled away. 0-1 the count. The wind has seemingly died down a little bit out there. That can be it's not completely, but it doesn't seem like it's blowing as hard as it was when we Hall, and that's in there for strike 2. 0-2 the count. As I mentioned, the winner of this game takes sole possession of Region 8. 1-2 the count. 1-2 pitch. Fly ball. Shot. Do it, they can't. Maple Mountain will bring a runner home and score. Thorpe late on the throw. And the Maple Mountain Eagles have taken the lead. The Dons had recorded 2 quick outs to start the inning. Then a couple of errant plays. And then the Eagles' bats roar. And there's a shot to center. Bradford makes stay in it, but Maple Mountain has taken a 6-5 lead over Spanish Fork as we head to the bottom of the 7th.
3 runs on 3 hits, with 1 Spanish Fork error and
Calvin Youd, Randy Brailsford, the car guys of Spanish Fork.
We're really excited about what we're able to do and provide for the community. Our goal is that we will sell you a quality car that's clean, that you'll feel proud of at a good, reasonable price.
The right place, dedicated service beyond the sale.
Piece of art every month. To enter, simply go to facebook.com/jmartprint&copy. You could win one of these beautiful canvas prints. And if you have a photo of your own you would like to enlarge and frame, come to J-Mart and leave a lasting legacy.
Spanish Fork fan, but by the time this thing's over, one group in our community, half of our community, you could almost say, will be sitting there shaking their head going, how did we let this one get away from us? That has been the case. The Dons giving up 3 runs in the top of the 7th. If Maple Mountain allows any runs here, they'll be the ones shaking their heads. How did we let this one go? But Brady Bate will lead it off for the Dons, and 4, 5, and 6 due up. Brock Nelson, Trevor Perkins also due. Pitch on the way. That one misses inside for ball 1. Pitch. And there for a strike. 1-1 the count. So 1 ball, 1 strike, nobody out. Foul territory, should be able to make a play is Holmes, but the catcher, Maffey, will wave him off to make the first out. 1 down. Brock Nelson, the hitter. Gary Miner has to be proud of his guys regardless of the outcome of this one. This is, I mean, Salem Hills got their first victory against Spanish Fork in quite some time. I don't know if they've ever beaten Spanish Fork prior to. They may have, if I'm looking back. I have to look back a little bit one of these days and find out. But Maple Mountain looking to get their first big win over the Dons here is Brock Nelson, the hitter. Pitch on the way. And he nubs it short, third base side. Will they make the play? What is he? No, it gets by him. So an errant throw. I don't know if it would have beat him anyways. But Brock Nelson aboard. So the tying run on for Spanish Fork and Trevor Perkins, a hitter. He has a double and a run scored in this one. It's 1 for 3.
Now batting for the Dons, left fielder number 18, Trevor Perkins. Pinch running for the Dons, number 6, Taylor Harrison.
Taylor Harrison coming in as a pinch runner for Spanish Fork, Brock Nelson. Wanting some quicker feet out there, and who can blame him? I don't know if you can bunt at this point with just 1 away. Perkins leaves it lone upstairs. Little chin music for ball 1. Cooper Thorpe on deck for Spanish Fork. And the selective hitter today has walked twice. Unless Perkins leaves that one alone, the pitch outside, 2-0 the count. Pitch on the way, just inside from Nick. In the 4th, and has not given up a run for the Eagles. I don't know how far he typically goes as a relief pitcher for the Eagles, but he's gone quite a distance so far, and he's been solid all the way through. 3-1 the count. Pitch. Misses, ball 4. So 2 aboard. Trevor Perkins lets that one go by. And now the hitter, Cooper Thorpe, as time has been called. Bullpen action is occurring, and we will get a pitching change. So, 7th inning, 6-5, Maple Mountain, 2 aboard for the Dons, and a new pitcher coming in. Looks like it'll be number 11, Cannon Miner. We'll be right back on Spanish Fork 17.
Where have all the cowboys gone? Why, every Wednesday they up and ride into Spanish Fork. That's right, it's the Wednesday Western on Spanish Fork 17, 12:30 lunchtime, and repeated at 9:30 when you're bedding down. Check the listings on the SFCN website. Wednesday Westerns featuring John Wayne, Kirk Douglas, Alan Ladd, Gregory Peck, and a band of outlaw renegades.
Well, it's
So as mentioned, Cannon Miner coming in relief for Nick Shaw, and the Dons are trying to at least keep this game going in a direction that's pleasable for the Spanish Fork fans, and at least trying to force it into extra innings. Swing and a miss by Cooper Thorpe. Cannon Miner on to close after a walk, and the Dons having Nelson reach on an error, and a swing and a miss, a quick 0-2 count.
Pitching to make them out.
On deck for pitch. There's a shot. Popped up. Shortstop. Making the play is Polson for the out. So the Dons down to their final out. Maverick Buffo flew out to left, and his only at bat came in the 5th inning. He came in to hit for Jason Money in the 5th. So Buffo with 2 aboard, should be on the gallop. So base hit should score a run. Pitch. Taylor Harrison on the base path leading the way from second for the Dons. Nick Roberts waiting on deck. 0-1 the count. Pitch. Will it stay in fair territory? No, it won't. I mean, in play, and it won't. The count 0-2. And the Maple Mountain fans are thrilled with an 0-2 count against. The 0-2, 2 down. Pitch, left alone, 1-2 the count. One-two pitch. Buffalo fouls it away, hanging strong. So 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 away here in the 7th. Bottom of the 7th, the Dons came into this inning with a 5-3 lead, now trailing 6-5 to the Golden Eagles. 1-2 pitch in the dirt. Full count. Or excuse me, 2-2 the count now. Counted that last foul ball as a ball. Need to learn the rules of the game, I guess. Relearn them. If you swing, it usually counts as a strike. 2 off. Count remains at 2s. Nick Roberts on deck. Been solid with the bat for Spanish Fort today. Two offering. There's a grounder to third. It gets through. The Dons are going to score a run. Taylor Harrison ties it up on a 2-strike count. Maverick Buffo with a single that keeps the Dons alive. And once again, runners at first and second. Nick Roberts, a hitter, who has been solid for the Dons today.
Now batting for the Dons, number 12, Nick Roberts.
Roberts, a single, actually 2 singles, 2 RBIs. Those singles in his last 2 at-bats. A run gives the Dons a W. There's some discussion going on between some of the Dons coaches. I don't know what that discussion may be, whether or not to bring in a pinch runner or not, and I guess they will. So they will pull Trevor Perkins
Pinch running for the Dons, number 22,
Ryan Golish as a speed or a pinch runner. So now Nick Roberts at the dish. The Dons will be on the run with 2 down. Anything hit, everybody goes. Base hit, quite possibly, could prove to be the game winner with Golish up as a pinch runner at second. Pitch to Roberts. There's a shot to short. Polson with the routine play for the out. So, we head to extras. No better way to keep it here at Nelson Field. Spanish Fort Dons 6. The Golden Eagles of Maple Mountain High School 6. We'll be right back.
Well, it's fun to dine at Taco Time. The service is great and the food is fine. So when you're feeling hungry, to Taco Time, you can dine right. Food our own special way. That's Taco Time. We're open every day.
Kirby Lane in
Coming up this weekend, it's All all evening. We've got so many games they won't fit in their standard time slots.
They're breaking out!
You can't stop them. The games are coming to your TV this Saturday. Afternoon. All evening. All Sports Saturday.
Changes for the Dons on first base. Number 21, Remo Rivera. Correction. On first base, number 21, Matt Clear.
So there's some changes that have gone on in the field. There's a new first baseman, Matt Creer, coming in for Broughton Nelson at first base.
Logan Nelson.
So Logan Nelson, the hitter for the Eagles, to start the 8th inning. Struck out twice. He's walked. He's grounded out. Takes a pitch there. Quick 2-0 count to Logan. Jaron Hall also due up this inning, and the number 4 hitter, 3-4, due up. And another one fouled away. So Nelson hanging strong at a 2-2 count here, as the Dons trying to defensively overcome after a rough 7th inning. Starts the fly to center field for the out to Bennett Bradford. 1 down. It'll bring up Jaron Hall. Last time flew out to right. He's walked, he's scored, he's singled as an RBI.
Right fielder, number 19,
Grounded to third also. Pretty full stat sheet for him. Pitch. Hits a corner for a strike. 0-1. Next pitch popped up, so 2 straight fly balls. Cooper Thorpe coming in to make the play. So, pop-ups in the first. Last time up, it was against Hall. He grounded to second. It was a double and run scored, and also a single in this one. Oh for 1 against Hall. Watches the first pitch for ball 1. Pitch curveball, nice looking pitch from Hayes for a strike, and the count goes to 1-1. 1-1, 2 away, nobody on. Pitch from Hall. Ooh, he loved it. Just misses. Count 2-1. Pitch. Missing, a 3-1 count. One pitch. Another pop fly. Is the play can be made, will it? Yes, it will, by Jade Nielsen behind the plate for the out. So, the Dons with a 3-up, 3-down inning with a chance.
Top of the 8th inning, Maple Mountain had no runs on no hits, no Spanish Fork errors, and no runners left on base.
p.m. You may want to beware. It's Freaky Friday.
SFCN unleashes a freaky feature every Friday night at 9:30. Yes, this used to be the time slot for city meetings, but trust us, this is even scarier. Freaky Friday, only on Spanish Fork 17.
Fill up your gas tank at the same time you fill yourself at the dugout. On the way to the job site, the office, or the ballpark, pop in for everything you need. Hot drinks, cold drinks, any size you want of all your favorite flavors. Build your own fresh salad to go, for now or later, or choose from our home-styled sandwiches and fresh baked goods. Whether you're close to home plate or close to your home, swing by the dugout, located next to the ballparks in Spanish.
Center fielder number 23.
1, 2, 3 in the Dons lineup. If there's a chance for the Dons to break free and win this game. It should be here in the 8th inning with their top 3 hitters due up. 1-0 the count to Bennett. I'm smelling a ballpark hamburger and I'm getting hungry. Strike. 1-1. That side, it's nice to know that go to either ballpark or the one at the Volunteer Park or Swenson Park and grab a burger. Fly out to center. 1 away. That's a 4th straight fly out in this game. Had 3 by Maple Mountain. The leadoff hitter for the Dons does it.
Now batting
Jade Nielsen, the hitter.
Number 5, Jade Nielsen.
Jade was hit by a pitch. He's been walked and he's flown out, grounded out. 1-0 to Jade as Hayes Hall waiting on deck. And a foul ball, and the count goes to 1-1. Pitch. It'll Hayes Hall still on the mound for Spanish Fork, as he will be working into his 3rd inning of this ball game. Spanish Fork and the Golden Eagles tied up at 6. Earlier in the game when it was, I like them close when there's more runs now. Just because I got my wish. Inning. The hitter for Brian Van Tassel on deck. Jake Maffey. In the batsman is Nick Maffey. Run. And this is and you start one run, especially since out Brian had a strikeout in the there. Has an RBI. And it was these and Bryson Van for Maple Mountain, and the gave them. Dons were able to overcome in the bottom of the 7th inning. So we'll see how with these guys works out. I mean, reach 1-4-6. So these guys are confident. 1-1 the count. Pitch, lays down a bunt, looks good, roll line, play made by Hall. So you get end it and flick it over to first. Out number 1. That'll bring up Jake Maffey. 1 for 4. A single, or excuse me, and a run scored. Pitch. Plenty of velocity. And he's very much under control as a pitcher. Over there was that one hit. Here's one chopped down the line and foul by Holmes on deck. In this one came in the 7th inning. Tied the ball game up. There's a line and foul. Creer will have to pop back into play, and the count remains 0-2. Good. And keep that one in front of him. The count goes to so 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 away. Runner checked. Leave the runner out there for Nick. Yeah, that is Nick Maffey out there, the center fielder. I'm sure at this point Maple Mountain would be at the very least satisfied with even just 1 run here to take another lead, put the pressure on Spanish Fork to answer. So 1 pitch on its way and in the dirt. The count. The chain link on the fence is set up. Say it's 2-2, and that one barely misses for ball 3, and I don't know how that one almost should have been called for the fact that Maffey didn't take a hack at it. They've always been trained, and most players are trained, that if there's 2 strikes, you're waving the bat at it at the very least if it's close. But Jake Maffey got away with 1. That happens. It's baseball. Human element always is involved. Nice job by Buffo to field it, gather it in, and make the play from third. So, 2 away. Runner still at second base, and Nick Maffey and Mitch Holmes a hitter.
Now batting.
Had that 2 RBI single. You can bet with 2 outs, unless that ball's hit the left side, that Nick Maffey will be on his horse taking off. Ground ball, he'll be staying. Fly ball, he's gone. Ground at least to the left side. 0-1 the count. Pitch to Holmes. Curveball strike. 0-2. Due up for the Dons will be Trevor Perkins, Cooper Thorpe, and Maverick Buffo in the bottom of the ninth. Into center field. Bennett Bradford to make the play. We head to the bottom of the ninth inning. Still knotted up at 6.
No Spanish Fork errors and 1 runner left on base.
All evening, we've got so many games that won't fit in their standard time slot.
They're breaking out!
You can't stop them. The games are coming to your TV this Saturday. Afternoon. All evening. All Sports Saturday.
Where it's Freaky Friday.
FCN unleashes a freaky feature every Friday night at 9:30. Yes. This used to be the time slot for city meetings, but trust us, this is even scarier. Freaky Friday, only on Spanish Fork 17.
Leading off the Dons.
Due up prior to the end of the 8th, Trevor Perkins, Cooper Thorpe, and Maverick Buffo, as Perkins walked his last time up. He's grounded into a fielder's choice. He has doubled, scored a run. Decent day, 1 for 3. Wanting to make it a little more decent here, as he's the leadoff hitter here in inning number 9. Gannon Miner still at work for the Eagles. Popped up into center. Routine play for the... So, 1 away. It's been a couple innings. We haven't gone very far into parts of this ball game where at least not one run is scored. They've kind of scattered them out between these two teams, and I'm expecting some fireworks here at some point. Cooper Thorpe, the hitter, leaves it be. 1-0. Still that breeze blowing. Mention it's not as vigorous as it was earlier, thank goodness. Another pop-up. Dons are 9th inning. 2 down. That'll bring up Maverick Buffo. an
for the Dons,
RBI.
third baseman, number 24, Maverick Buffo.
That was the one that kept the Dons in this thing. And we could talk about the game Buffo had prior to exiting. If it, other than the walks, he threw a pretty solid game, but there was just points in his he was unable to find his locations early in innings, allowing a runner or two and finding himself in some deep situations. That one inside, and the count 2-1. Nick Roberts waiting on deck for the Dons. Now, Dons have not seen a hit since the 7th inning. Swing and a miss, 2-2. That being said, what does that tell you about Cannon Miner's outing? He's working on now his 3rd inning. Actually, 2 2/3 at the completion of this inning. He's allowed just 1 hit, and that was to Buffo. Pitch on the way. Maverick pops it up. Will it get out of here? It looks like it might, and it will. Gets out of play. Fans on the Maple Mountain side able to get out of the way of that one. Count remains at 2s. Pitch. Shot. But it just doesn't have enough juice in the play made by Nelson. It took off well off the bat. Didn't have enough there. 3 flyouts in the 9th. We head to the 10th. Spanish Fork 6. Maple Mountain 6. Here on Spanish Fork 17.
You fill yourself at the dugout. On the way to the job site, the office, or the ballpark, pop in for everything you need. Hot drinks, cold drinks, any size you want of all your favorite flavors. Build your own fresh salad to go, for now or later, or choose from our home-styled sandwiches and fresh baked goods. Whether you're close to home plate or close to your home, swing by the dugout, located next to the ballparks in Spanish Fork.
Security Insurance Agency, serving the community with personal service since 1964. Longtime customer, Lane Henderson.
He's covered my business to my home and everything, provided excellent coverage throughout the years. Personally takes care of my needs, so I really appreciate that personal touch.
Let Clark Swenson and his entire staff take care of you. Security Insurance Agency. Or call 798-3500.
It is the top of the 10th, for real. We are almost to hour number 3 of this ball game, which is pretty quick for a 10-inning game. Connor Ellis, the hitter.
Hitter number 21, Connor
Ellis, and Maple Mountain has not tinkered much with their batting order at all in this one. Whereas Spanish Fork, they've made some pinch hit adjustments, switched some guys up. Maple Mountain still in that same 9-man batting rotation as we saw the first inning. Popped foul and out of play. So the count 1-1 to Ellis. Pitch missing outside. 2 balls, 1 strike. Again, we want to thank J-Mart for bringing the live broadcast as we are trying to work our way into the nighttime hours. Publishing, printing, located at 280 North Main. Talk to Lane Henderson. He'll take anything that you can imagine almost and print it in about any format. Right back to Hayes. For the out. You and all the things that Lane Henderson can print. Let's think about what they might be. How about some wedding invitations, posters, business cards, magnets, yada 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 yada. Colton Hamilton. Strike. Dons were able, since Hull has entered the game and had a rough 7th inning, they have just shut down Maple Mountain hitting since that 7th inning. Hull came in the top of the 7th, and this game would have actually been over had it not been for some couple of poor head plays and a poor judgment, fielding errors that ended up keeping this game in wrap. Still rolling around here.
Left fielder number 12, Logan Nelson.
2 down. That'll bring up Logan Nelson, who has not had the best of days at the plate. 0 for 4. Does have a walk to his credit in the 3rd inning. One the count. Jaron Hall on deck. The Dons next inning will be working batters 9, 1, and 2 in their lineup in the 10th inning. 2-1. Fouled off. Fly ball, right field line. It'll make it a foul territory. So, the count 2 balls, 2 strikes. Bats that were once hot on both sides. I mean, not necessarily overly hot, but we're seeing at least a few hits here and there and a few runs being scored. Have just been silent since we got into extra innings. No more. 2 runners have been aboard in this extra inning stanza. Play by Maverick Buffo to make the out. That Buffo over there. Yeah. All right. So we'll head to the bottom of 10. Still camping. 6-6.
Calvin Youd, Randy Brailsford, the Car Guides of Spanish Fort.
We're really excited about what we're able to do and provide for the community. Our goal is that we will sell you a quality car that's clean, that you'll feel proud of at a good, reasonable price.
The right place, dedicated service.
Piece of art every month. To enter, simply go to Facebook.com/print and copy. You could win one of these beautiful canvas prints. And if you have a photo of your own you would like to enlarge and frame, come to J-Mart and leave a lasting legacy.
The Dons will have 9-1 and 2 due up here in the 10th inning. We did a game, I believe it was in 2003. If that's going to put an.
Number 12, Nick
It was a 2-1 game against the Provo Bulldogs that ended, if I'm not mistaken, in the 17th inning. Let's hope we don't see that, folks. It turned out to be a little rougher of an experience than any of us had anticipated. More than anything else for the fact there was no offense. So Roberts, the hitter for the Dons. 2 for 4 today. 2 RBIs, 2 singles. Trying to get things started for the Dons against Cannon Minor. Maple Mountain is also in the like. Ran through 3 pitchers. That went upstairs and in. I don't know if there's any bullpen action. There is some bullpen action for Maple Mountain. Count to Nick Roberts. Pitch in there for a strike, 3-1. Bennett Bradford waiting on deck. Jade Nielsen in the hole. I'm running out of room in my scorebook here. There's a shot. Base hit again for Nick Roberts. It's got to be a satisfying feeling to know your 9-hitter has hit the ball better, essentially, than anybody in the lineup today. I mean, that's a good thing. Especially in a game where you're tied up in the 10th. You have the 9-hitter out there doing his work. Cannon Minor is going to head for the dugout. Defensive change also taking place. Number 18, Tyson Ellis, is heading to some position so that the shortstop. For Cade Polson to take the mound, it looks like. Looks like that will be the case. And it is. We'll take a break. Again.
Where have all the cowboys gone? Why, every Wednesday they up and ride into Spanish Fork. That's right, it's the Wednesday Western on Spanish Fork 17. 12:30 lunchtime and repeated at 9:30 when you're bedding down. Check the listings on the SFCN website. Wednesday Westerns featuring John Wayne, Kirk Douglas, Alan Ladd, Gregory Peck, and a band of outlaw renegades. Only on Spanish Fork 17.
Well, it's fun to dine at Taco Time. The service is great and the food is fine. So when you're feeling hungry, look for this sign and bring the family down to Taco Time. Where you can dine right.
Taco Time at 6.
Bennett Bradford.
Bennett Bradford, the hitter for Spanish Fork, as Polson has come in to pitch. Cade Polson for Maple Mountain. And I made a fib in saying Tyson Ellis is heading short. He is not. Nick Shaw is at short for the Eagles. So, Bradford lays one down and fouls it off. He's quick enough and puts it in the right spot down the first base line. He could just run that thing out. Bradford, 1 for 5. He's reached on an error and singled. Flown out 3 other times. He's down a bunt. Polson can go to 2, and he will, and get the out. Oh, it's thrown away. Wow, that could prove to be fatal. You cannot miss those. I don't know if it was the throw. Didn't look to be too bad. No, it wasn't too bad of a throw, but an error.
Now batting for the Dons, the catcher number 5.
Made by
Jade Nielsen.
Short. That would be Shaw. Not a way that I want that to roll if you're the Eagles, as Jade Nielsen, the hitter. I wonder now if you want to even bunt again. He's going to show it. He's going to pull it back, and the ball gets by a little bit, but a great job by Maffey to corral that thing. Maple Mountain fans on edge here. Dons fans are on the edge of their seats. Both sides. Custody of number 1 in Region 8. Pitch misses. 2-0. Jade still showing bunt. Miner's asking the umpire where the pitch was located. 2-0 the count. Gary Miner has brought this team places, has he not? Bunt doesn't work. So the lead runner gunned in Nick Roberts. Now Hayes has an opportunity here to earn a win.
Now batting for the Dons, the pitcher number 2, Hayes Hall.
He can earn the win as a pitcher and as a hitter with 1 swing of a bat. 2 aboard, and I'm sure they'll let him freely go here. Brady Bate waiting on deck. Pitch on the way to Hayes, in there for a strike. A 1. Pitch on the way, fouled away. Oh, 2 the count. So Hayes has to protect here. Pitch on the way, fouled away. He does protect. Don's had 2 aboard. Missed opportunity on Jade Nielsen's bunt. No 2 pitch to Hayes Hall. Shot. First. He will not. Oh, that could be close to interference. And Gary Miner's throwing a fit. He said he was Bennett Bradford, or Jade Nielsen, I mean. And now Gary Miner wants an explanation as to how that was not interference on Nielsen's part. It was the speed-up runner, Harrison, I believe. So Bradford over to third. Hall is on at first. They're discussing it. And what are they going to do here? What's the call? This could end in a war if they keep the runner at second still there. Tochu's getting explanation. And they have the bases loaded with one away. Apparently, after, let me explain this the best I can. Harrison was heading to second base on that play. If we can see that replay one more time. And there's the play to first to second, pulled off the bag. And that's when the umpire called him safe, but for whatever reason, they didn't call Harrison out. Is it Harrison that's out there, I believe? I'm not sure if it's... They did him off the field with 2 down now. We'll get this figured out some point during the evening.
10, right fielder, Brady.
I was going to say, how could he still be safe at second base when he had pulled himself off the bag, even though the umpire had declared him safe, and then they threw him out again at second base, and then they intentionally walked bait. Bases loaded again.
First baseman number 21, Matt Freer.
Against Cade Polson. Here in the 10th, bases loaded, 2 out. Poor Carrera has been in this situation twice today. Fouls it off on the first pitch. Oh, on the count. Pitch on the way. Creer fouls it away. 0-2. Polson. Pitcher number 4, I believe, for Maple Mountain. In that game I was talking about earlier, it was a 17-inning game between Spanish Fork and Provo. The Dons ended up winning that thing it might have been 18 innings. It was 18 innings. Now that I think of it, I had 2 full sheets full. Anyway, I believe 19 of those innings were pitched by Tyson Brummett. The called strike 3 by Polson will send Kerr to the dugout.
Have no runs on, no hits.
6-6 your score.
Come out there, and 3 runners left on base.
Coming up this weekend, it's All Sports all evening. We've got so many games they won't fit in their standard time slots.
They're breaking out!
You can't TV this Saturday. Afternoon. All evening. All Sports
If you don't know what p.m., you may want to beware. It's Freaky Friday.
SFCN unleashes a freaky feature every Friday night at 9 used to be the time slot for city meetings. But trust us, this is even scarier. Freaky Friday, only on Spanish Fork 17.
Due up for the Eagles of Maple Mountain. Jaron Hall, Cade Polson, Nick Moffey, 3, 4, and 5. We have started several innings. Due up as Hayes Hall is probably going to need to ice his shoulder after this one. Not probably, he's now into his 4th inning. 0-2. So no balls, 2 strikes, a count. And that one outside. 1-2. There's a shot up the middle. Leadoff base hit for the Eagles. So Jaron Hall gets it started for Maple Mountain. Cade Polson, the hitter.
The pitcher, number 20, Caden Polson.
Pitch, strike. 0-1. Runner checked back at first. Swing and a miss, 0-2. Looking through my sheet, the last time Maple Mountain hitter struck out was in the 6th inning. Tanner Nielsen threw to 3 batters. It's called strike 3, runner safe. They're going to send him to 3rd. Wow. Polson watching strike 3 and then a big jumbled mess over second base.
Now batting center fielder number 5, Nick Moffey.
So, one down, Nick Moffey can give Maple Mountain a lead with the swing of the bat. That was the first strikeout by the Eagles since the 6th inning. But he was just as good as 2 bunts in 1 out. Polson can't go back to the dugout feeling overly bad about it, I guess. Fly ball, jack deep in the left. That's going to be an RBI. Ball coming in. Jaron Hall can walk in. Maple Mountain with the lead. And that will bring up Bryson Van Tassel. So Maple Mountain. And I tried to make a promise to our crew before the game that I would be as unbiased as possible, but and you know, I don't doubt for 2 seconds that Maple Mountain fans here in our Spanish Fork area will probably be saying that Puke is being as biased as he can be. I'm not trying to, and I apologize. I just have bled red my entire life. So a single for Bryson Van Tassel. Forgive me if I'm not too excited about that. But I am. It's good to see Spanish Fork do well. And either way, this game, so one of them's called Spanish Fork, one of them's called Maple Mountain. I can't help that. Foul ball. Foul ball, they call it off the foot of Jake Moffey. So, another runner aboard. For Maple Mountain. Bryson Van Tassel, as Moffey is at the plate and Van Tassel checked. Moffey in the game, 1 for 5. 1-1 count. Fouled off. Due up for Spanish Fork in the 11th will be the 6, 7, 8 hitters of the Dons, Perkins, Thorpe, and Buffo. Dons' production ended in the 7th, as did Maple Mountain's up until the 11th inning. Pitch on the way. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. The inning ends. So, 2 strike. A run scores. 7-6. The Golden Eagles with the lead over the Dons.
On 2 hits. No Spanish Fork.
You fill yourself. Way to the job site, the office, or the ballpark, pop in for everything you need. Hot drinks, cold drinks, any size you want of all your favorite flavors. Build your own fresh salad to go, for now or later, or choose from our home-styled sandwiches and fresh baked goods. Whether you're close to home plate or close to your home, swing by the Dugout, located next to the ballparks in Spanish Fork.
Serving the community with personal service since 1964. Longtime customer, Lane Henderson.
He's covered my business to my home and everything, provided excellent coverage throughout the years. Personally takes care of my needs, so I really appreciate that personal touch.
Let Clark Swenson and his entire staff take care of you. Security Insurance Agency, 290 North Main in Spanish Fork, or call 798-3500.
Well, the Dons, once again, as they did in the 7th inning, have another shot at it. And one more shot at it, the way you want to look at it. Trevor Perkins is going to lead it off. Cooper Thorpe. And then Maverick Buffo, 6, 7. We let off with these 3, and all 3 of them flew out. Perkins today has 1 for 4. Shot. Be an error at third. So that will bring up Cooper Thorpe. And if the Dons are going to score, I would hope that way so I don't upset anyone in this giant community of ours. If they score, I hope it's more than 2, just for the simple fact that I haven't gone to the restroom in about 3.5 hours. And I'd like that. Cooper Thorpe has walked twice. He's flown out 3 times. 1-0. They're pinching in because they know he's going to bunt, and he does so successfully. No, he don't. Hit the grass and fouled off. Are they saying it hit Thorpe or it hit? Ooh. Another look at that maybe. As Buffo comes to the plate. He's getting a visit. Is it Buffo or do we have a new? Yeah, we have another hitter on that replay. You can't really tell. Camera shot was late. Yeah, Cooper Thorpe, the hitter, after the foul ball. So 1-1 the count. Nobody out. Coach, you just said make sure that if you bunt that thing, it stays fair. 1-2 now. Swing away mode. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. No outs. Fouled off. Buffo on deck. Roberts in the hole. Dons working in their 6th round through the lineup, as is Maple Mountain. Popped up again. Thorpe has flown out 3-4 times now. One away. Perkins unable to move at first.
Now
Maverick Buffo with a hitter.
Number 24, Maverick Buffo.
Flown out to left twice, singled with an RBI. He has power. Don't let anything I'm telling you fool you. He's hit home runs. He's hit grand slams to win ball games. See if he can do it again. Cade Polson looking to gain the win for the Golden Eagles. 1-0 pitch upstairs. 2 balls. I don't know how close Polson wants to come to putting one in Buffo's wheelhouse because, as I mentioned, he's got the power to do it. I don't know if you want to pitch around him, but that one's skipping off the glove of Maffei. It may have been called a strike if he held on to it. That one misses outside in a 3-0 count. So Nick Roberts on deck. 3-0 count. I'm sure Buffo will be on the take here. He is. Ball 4 issued. And what does Gary Minor do now? Don't tell me allow the Dons only to leave me up here in emotional and physical pain. So fork. With the walk. On over to second base. Perkins. Leave Polson out there and just give him a talking to. And Nick Roberts coming to the dish for Spanish Fork. Waiting on deck will be Bennett Bradford. So Roberts, who's 3 for 5 today. Solid game at the plate. For quite some time is the only player with an RBI for Spanish Fork. Up until Maverick Buffo had one in the 7th to keep things alive for the Eagles. This time is called. I don't know what we're going to do here. What are we going to do? Have a runner come in. They do need an extra run, and if they do that, they can bring in someone with some speed, and it looks like that will be
number 15,
Jason Money as a speed-up runner. It's kind of strange. You're not a speed-up runner, pinch runner. Came out of the game, brought back into the game as a pinch runner. So, Nick Roberts, the hitter. Bennett Bradford on deck. A shot into the gap could possibly end the ball game. Possibly. Pitch missing. 1-0. valuable in these series, or 2-game series. That one misses outside, and the count goes to 2-0. Two-0. As I was mentioning, you get deep into the bullpens in these first games, you're not left with much else when it comes to that final game. And I'm sure the Dons, without a doubt, Bennett Bradford will be throwing in game 2 of this series. It's on Thursday as he watches Nick Roberts watches strike one go by and the count at 3-1, a hitter's count. It'll be interesting to see just how deep into a bullpen a team's willing to dig. 3-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. Full count. 1 down. The Dons must get 1 here in the 11th. Pitch. Upstairs. Ball 4. Bases jammed. 1 away. What an at by Nick Roberts. That will bring up Bennett Bradford. He has not had the best of games. 1 for 6. He can quickly make it the best of games with a shot. Outfielders, you can't pull them in yet. Pitch. Really bring anyone in, I think. Play made. They're going to hold up. Perkins. 2 down. Ooh, he's just too shallow in the outfield to really give anybody an opportunity to take off. The Eagles let, and this is communication between Hamilton and the rest. To me, like maybe Jaron could have made just as easy a play on it and have his body facing the plate in case the Dons did try to run, but worked out well for the Eagles either way. So, Jade Nielsen. Last gasp for the Dons. 2 down, 0-1 count. Bases loaded. Anything hit, the base runners will be off. Polson on the mound trying to earn the win for the Eagles. The Golden Eagles, that is. ALA with Maple Mountain. Always said, you just have too many Eagles and Hawks and everything else around here to have anything but a bird. We have Thunderbirds in the region. Good grief. Anyway, 1-2. Nubber. Play can be made, and it is. Maple Mountain has defeated the Spanish Fort Dons.
Ladies and gentlemen, at the conclusion of 11 innings, the score.
An 11-inning.
Spanish Fort 6.
Bruise 'em up, beat 'em up contest. Vying for a region title as Maple Mountain has now taken a 1-game lead over the Spanish Fort Dons in region title. They stuck it out. They came up with 3 runs in the 7th inning, starting with a single by Nick Maffey, and then a plethora of singles in the 7th to bring the Eagles into a lead that the Dons thwarted in the 7th. Nelson was able to score after an RBI single for Maverick Buffalo. Now is the fun task for me to select the player of the game. Okay, you do the math. You go through everything. You add it all up. Who did what? Who was the stud? Who's the guy that came through in the clutch? Who was the bad, bad man? Who made that final play for the out that wasn't routine? That's a first baseman for the Maple Mountain Golden Eagles. His name's Mitch Holmes. Had 2 walks, a run scored. Most importantly, in the 7th inning, had 2 RBIs on a single that tied the game up for the Eagles to keep the Golden Eagles to keep them alive. And boy, did he come through in the clutch when it mattered most on that last hit by Jade Nielsen. And wow, the Eagles, their heads are high. They have the region lead. Spanish Fort Dons now with their 3rd region loss after going nearly 5 years without a region loss. Now, that isn't to suggest that the Dons are a poor baseball team by any means. What it's to suggest is that we've got some tough teams in this region, and it's going to get exciting as things continue to work its way down the stretch. The Spanish Fort Dons and the Golden Eagles going to war, finishing in a 7-6 win for Maple Mountain. Again, we want to thank everyone who has participated in watching this game live, or even if you're watching it on rebroadcast on Spanish Fork 17. We want to also thank J-Mart Printing for bringing this live broadcast to you. Lane Henderson can take anything and print it just about any format. Wedding invitations, posters, J-Mart 280 North Main. We also want to thank the Car Guys Instant Replay. Go see Randy Brailsford and Calvin Young to get a great deal on a nearly new automobile at 872 North Main in Spanish Fork. Give them a buzz, 798-0077. You got a big selection of SUVs. Most of which, I can't say all, but most of which are under factory warranty. I can guarantee a large majority of their cars are. Taco Time, also for sponsoring today's player of the game. Check out their new Mondo Burritos. You can try great Southwest flavors of Taco Time behind Deseret Book in Spanish Fork. And Mitch Holmes wins our Taco Time player of the game to our Maple Mountain Golden Eagles. Either way, we can be proud as Spanish Fork citizens that we have a win today, no matter what. Is a little upset, but still somewhat satisfied. Took a big swallow over the lump in my throat. I'm Alan Huff from everybody from Spanish Fork 17. We thank you for joining us, and until next time, field at Swenson Memorial Park.
Calvin Young, Randy Brailsford, the Car Guys of Spanish Fork.
We're really excited about what we're able to do and provide for the community. Our goal is that we will sell you a quality car that's clean.
In your city,